Hello, and welcome back to Lord of Heroes on Nyris Gaming. Been another long period of dry spell with not too much interesting going on, but we finally have our two fire heroes coming up, finally revealed. So let's get into things. So this update is coming on Thursday, the 27th. There's going to be a lot of quality of life things going on, including a lot that are behind a subscription service. This is kind of something that's built-in base to most games these days. What will this include? So one of the things it's going to include is an even further increased battle speed, so you can go through like repeats faster than before. Going to be a separate button from the speed increase that we already have, and you can turn this off and on at will, and it will remain on until you turn it off. We're finally going to get a quick battle feature, like most farming type mobile games. It will be limited to 30 a day, and I believe it's behind the subscription service, but it is nice to have. You will also be getting up to 50 auto repeats behind the subscription service, up from the maximum of 20 currently, which is a nice feature. You don't have to continually go back in after 20, which takes maybe 10-15 minutes usually. You can leave this for half an hour to 45 minutes now approximately, depending on how fast you're clearing stages. Now, out of this subscription service, just some quality of life stuff coming. The equipment upgrade animation will be faster, so it does not take nearly as long. It will also remember the last thing you sorted through in the sort and filter function in the inventory. You can also double tap to skip the reward chest animation now. And when you are selecting political choices from the dispatches to expeditions, you can now set it to auto-select certain types of rewards, so you don't have to individually select each of these. This is all just like streamlining processes, make things just easier to do and less tedious. One of these things as well is going to be like in the mercenary training and in the experience in gold halls, you can set it to automatically progress to the next stage instead of having to manually hit in start each time. We're also going to get in-game alliance inviting and invite requesting. This is something that will be very nice for alliances looking to find people and people looking to find a new alliance. Before, we kind of had to do this just in the unofficial Discord server. Now we can actually do it in-game. There's going to be some changes to the next season of the Obelisk starting next month, but it's not very specific as to what. We'll have to see when that happens. New alchemy banners from October 27th to December 1st, and all the rest to January 1st. Fire Lynn, Fire Mikhail, Light Alev, and Light Vanessa. Now, spoilers for Fire Mikhail, he is paid, but he is not a $45. And weirdly, neither is Light Vanessa. So these three will be coming back. Fire Lynn will be the summon, so we're getting half and half paid and summon. Fire Mikhail is a striker. We will go into his details later. He's a bit of an odd one. Fire Lynn is a sniper. Here is her summon banner, likely to be available for 2 months like every other summon banner has been. And it is looking like she will come with relics, but she will not come with relics for her other elements, unlike all the rest. It's a little disappointing, but I'm curious to see what those look like. Alev is getting a new costume, looks really dapper. This will be available from the 27th to January 1st. Here is the official artwork for it, and its limited form. Here is Mikhail's paid page. He's going to be a 23 one, like the smaller ones were. Thankfully, he is not a 45. Honestly, I'm hoping those are gone for good now, because Light Alev is coming back. She is another 23. She was part of that when that started. And Light Vanessa. She used to be one of the 45s, if I remember correctly. She is now 38. So it's a $7 decrease in price. Still a hefty price to pay. You do get a lot of these rewards as you level, but at least it is not as much as it used to be. So if you're looking to pick her up, now would be much better than before because she is cheaper. And here is that subscription service as stated before. If you do the month by month, it's $5 per month, and you get a 3-day trial the first time you do it, at which point afterwards it will do the $5. Or you can do for 6 months for $25, that'll get you a month free based on that price. So about the same price as the honors program. Kind of weird that they didn't just slap that into this. It makes sense to merge it in since it's another subscription service, the only one that's been in the game since it started. The honors program is $4 and gives you energy and crystals each day. So looking at that total, it'll be $9 total if you do both of these, unless you get that month free with the 6 months up front. You will also get 3 appearance customizations per month with the subscription service. I don't know that you would ever use this many, but if you want them, this is a much better way to get them than the tickets that they put out before, which were very limited. You will get 10 free alchemy tickets once you make a second purchase of the subscription. So you won't get it the first month, but you'll get it the second one, just as like a loyalty reward, I guess. I am not sure that it counts for the 6th month or not immediately. One would hope it does, so you don't have to wait 6 months to get those, instead of 2 if you do the other one. Now on to normal events. November 3rd to the 6th, paid to upgrade with these rewards. Add gifts for temporal threads from the end of October to the end of November. Tome of Calamity for stunning the primordial monster in the Alliance raid is coming back from the 30th to November 13th for a hefty 30,000 renown and 60,000 gold. Avalon Ambassador is coming back from the 27th to November 10th. Definitely do this to get a hefty amount of gold and 100,000 renown. Daily battle training will be coming from the 27th to the 7th. A daily 3,000 energy and 3,000 renown for doing 20 battles anywhere in the game. Obelisk Ascension from October 27th to October 30th, just to finish out the season for the month. For those last 3 days, you'll get a free selection relic box and 30,000 gold and renown. Now let us get into the new character ability details. We are going to start with our paid Fire Striker Mikhail. Here are his level 1 and level 60 stats, which, if I'm going to be honest, are not that great. He has under 1100 almost exactly 1100 attack. Why couldn't that just be 1100? That bothers me. But his health is workable but lowish, and his defense is decent. But for a damage dealer, this is kinda underwhelming. Definitely will need ascensions for that to be worthwhile. Is 1 attacks a selected enemy, increases the user's crit hit damage by 10%, stacks up to 5 times, increases the speed of the user for 2 turns if the attack deals a crit, which it should be because he is a striker, so you need to be building him for crits to maximize damage. I would imagine when we look at this on the update day to see what the levels are, this will get up to 20% per stack, up to a 100% at max stacks. Now, unlike Earth Lucilica with her relic, this is only on this one, not on any crits, unfortunately. But this will be very viable outside of the raid, because your 1 does not happen very often in the raid, and good for assist formation. His 2, cooldown 4 turns, fills burst gauge by 156. We get the level 1, level 2, and level 5 of this. And throughout those, the cooldown does not change, and the burst gauge gain does not change. Attacks a selected enemy, and additionally deals a random amount of damage between 25 to 100%. And going through level 2 and 5, that goes up to 50 to 125%. So it's extra damage, but it's unreliable extra damage, so I don't know how effective that's going to be. We'll have to see how much it does just base in the first place. But if he deals a crit, he also gains an extra turn guaranteed. More than 1 turn cannot be gained in a row, but guaranteed extra turns is wonderful. He will go immediately because it is not a fills action gauge to 100%. That is the reliable part of the half and half of this. His 4 is very straightforward and good for bosses, like Fire Lucilica, except hers is single target. His is AoE. That'll probably do less damage, but still. Attacks all enemies, costs 4, deals up to 5 times additional damage based on enemies' max health. Always good for bosses. He gets extra damage against earth elemental enemies and increased crit hit damage. Now, our summon sniper. I can never remember if they're brother and sister or cousins. They're related in some way, I know that much. She is a fire sniper. She gets quite hefty health at level 60 and almost barely less attack than Fire Mikhail. Definitely immensely less defense. Probably want to lean heavier into health. And as a sniper, she's going to be tankier as a ideal build. Her 1 attacks a selected enemy, fills by 108, 80% chance to reduce their defense for 2 turns, and additionally increases the user's defense for 1 turn. It's like siphoning defense. This starts at an 80%. That is an amazing debuff chance. I would not doubt if it goes up by 10% at 2 different levels to 100, because that has happened for a few different ones lately. Her 2, cooldown of 5 turns, fills by 390, very good for a sniper burst gauge fill. That probably goes up a bit. Increases all allies' attack power for 2 turns. AoE team attack for 2 turns instead of 1, and a leech buff for 1 turn. Solid buffs for everyone, good burst gauge gain there as well. Only problem is the cooldown. Hopefully that goes down by at least 1. I would imagine 2 we will see. Her 3, already at a low cost of 3 to begin with, attacks a selected enemy and steals all their buffs. And this doesn't have a percentage attached to it. So I would imagine it guaranteed happens unless they resist it. So if you get a little bit of debuff rate on her, it should be perfection. So if you want the enemy to never have buffs, run her. I wonder if this even gets down to 2 cost. That would be amazing. Passive stat is speed and resistance to earth damage. So she's just going to take barely anything from earth enemies, as she already is fire on top of this. That is going to do it for Lord of Heroes news on Nyris Gaming today. I will see you in the update video on Thursday the 27th. Until then.